are you? I hope that you are doing well. But today, I have a heavy question to ask you. So please brace yourself. Have you ever been stressed and frustrated by a situation that wouldn't end or improve, so much so that you could hardly eat, sleep, or feel at peace? Well, if you have, unfortunately, I understand. Because while life can be beautiful, it often throws us some curveballs that are very hard to navigate, right? But while we can't often fix the things that cause us the most stress right away, we can instead focus on improving the little things that can help to make our day even a little bit better. That way, instead of being set up to fail, we can set ourselves up to succeed. And sometimes it's improving the smaller things or the simpler things, such as thanking God that we wake up in the morning, such as making up our bed and being present while we do so. Things like taking an extra minute to just enjoy brushing our teeth or enjoy taking a shower, and making sure that we eat something in the morning, no matter how small it might be, because these are all things that can give us a little extra oomph that we might need to face the harshness of the day. And as I say that, I actually have a little story to share with you about a time where I really needed to slow down and show myself some compassion. So, it was nearing exam season and I had been out of school for a little bit because I was sick. And I just went back to school, but I was bombarded by, all the missing assignments, one bag of tests in the coming week, and I could barely eat, I could barely sleep because I felt like everything I was doing when I wasn't studying or making up for a missing assignment was absolutely pointless, right? And on one particular morning, when my mother saw the stress on my face, she said, "Abigail, what is the problem?" And as she said that, it's like everything started pouring out of me. I said, "Why, mommy? Me have a machine test, me have a machine missing this, me can't do that, me not prepared for my exam, me I go fail my exam, and then, the world I go end and everything just go downhill and me not gonna make it, right?" And in the middle of my rant, she stopped me and she said, "Just breathe." But when you're kind of already agitated and you don't really want to listen, so I responded to her, "Oh, how I must breathe." And would you believe me that my mother, in the middle of my going throughs, she stopped and she laughed me to scorn. And in her laughing, she was even crying tears, While she was wiping away her tears, she said, "It's not you I'm laughing at. It's just true, you asked me how you must breathe, and well, my brain said, in and out." And I was just so bamboozled. I'm not gonna tell no lie, just as how you see me a while ago, I was so vexed that she would stop and laugh me to scorn when I'm pouring out my heart on her. And so, I just say, "You know what, mommy? Thank you. I am going to school." And I left. But while I was at school, I said, you know what? Let me try this just breathe thing. And when the stress was coming on throughout the day, when I had to be making up for all that I had missed before and everything, I really did just breathe. I went in and I went out. And would you believe me that while I still had to do everything that I had to do, I felt a bit better just by breathing. And so it shows us that sometimes when we're facing an impossible situation, it's not so much the situation at hand, but it's the smaller things, the seemingly insignificant things that we do in response that help us to have a better outcome. And for me, like I said with the story, it was to just breathe. Other things that I normally do include whispering a little word of prayer, making sure I get something to eat or I get something to drink, ensuring that I do a little exercise here and there, talking to a friend, making sure that I get some laughter throughout the day. And I'm sure that these are things that can also potentially help you. And I mean, I don't know everything, so if you have something else that helps you, feel free to share. But essentially, I just want to encourage you that when life throws you its curveballs, deal with them bravely. But remember, if it's even one thing that you can do to care for yourself, do it. Keep doing your best. God bless.